Have you ever wondered what the Prophet ﷺ felt the moment he met Angel Jibreel for the first time? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. What happened was not a dream. It was not just a story. It was a real encounter that would change the world forever. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, we already said how the Prophet ﷺ one night, he was alone in the cave of Hira. Remind me with the name of mountain An-Nur. And the Prophet ﷺ experienced something beyond imagination. Suddenly, Angel Jibreel ﷺ came and said, read. The Prophet ﷺ, I cannot read. He said, I cannot read. So he squeezed him as hard as the Prophet could bear, and that happened 1, 2, 3 times, and they'll surah Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, read in the name of your Lord who created. And we talked about that in the previous class. The Prophet ﷺ rushed back home, his heart trembling, and he was there to he found what Khadijah radiallahu anha was there to comfort him. She was noble wife, wise, intelligent, and calm, and she said, and wrapped him up in a garment, and she said, Wallahi, Allah will never disgrace you. You keep ties with family, help the poor, host guests, and support the truth. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam was like that even before his prophethood. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad. She didn't stop there. She took him to her cousin Waraqah ibn Nawfal radiallahu anhu, because he believed in the Prophet, by the way, right? A scholar who had studied previous scriptures like Torah, Injil. Waraqah listened carefully, and then he said, this is the same angel that came to Musa alayhi salam. You are the prophet of this nation. I have a question here, let's stop. Why he said Musa, not Isa? Okay, why? Because people, the Christian and the Jews already believe in Musa, you know, and that's why the people already say Musa, because if you are Christian, you would believe in him. If you are Jewish, you would believe in him. This is one of the answers. So the Prophet ﷺ was shocked. Why? He asked a question, will they drive me out? As you know, he was noble, the Sadiq, I mean, he was known like that. So he was, how my people will bring me out? So Waraqah replied, he said, yes, no one brings a message like yours without being rejected and fought by their people. He wished he could live long enough to support him. But he died, but he believed in the Prophet ﷺ, and he is one of the Sahaba for sure. Soon, inshallah, yeah. Soon after the revolution paused for some time, but the Prophet ﷺ kept visiting the cave, longing for more. Then one day, while walking, he looked up there and he found Jibreel alayhi salam. Again, he was between the sky and the earth, sitting in a majestic chair. He said nothing but Jibreel alayhi salam, as you say, with 600 wings, subhanallah. Fearful, he rushed home again and he said, cover me, cover me. And then came the second revolution. O you who is wrapped in a garment, arise and warn and glorify your Lord and purify your garments and stay away from idols. Surah Al-Muddathir, the first 5 ayah. Ya ayyuha al-Muddathir, qum fa'anzir. From that moment, the revolution, al-Wahy, continues slowly but surely, ayah after ayah, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One day, Jibreel alayhi salam told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam how to make wudu and led him in prayer step by step. The training began, and the mission of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had started. And now, inshallah, that's what we inshallah learn in the next classes about the first Muslims and how was the hatred of some people of Quraysh. Let's say some questions. What do you think was the most powerful part of this moment? How do you imagine the first meeting with Jibreel alayhi salam? And have another question. How Waraqah knows that? Alright. Finally, share your thoughts below. Let me read your comments. I know there's no one reading listening, but I hope inshallah this video is beneficial. At least we say Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Please, if you learn something from this series that we talk about the Prophet, or if you want me to stop it and say it in another way with the books or something, let me you can share with me. I think that will be helpful, and consider that inshallah in your hasanat. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.